Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody from all around the world, Happy New Year! Hello and welcome to the hottest show in all of the globe right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. The Welch Report with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Make some noise! Clap it up! Get excited wherever you are! We're back! We're here! We made it to the new year, and oh my goodness, we're so happy to be with you all on today. Remember, make sure I get this end credit scene off of my screen. I'm sorry, I can't see very well. That should be okay. We're good now. But yes, sir, we're back. We're here. Happy New Year. We made it in 2026. Can't you believe it? Are you excited? Are you not entertained by the reasonings, by the happenings, by the potentials of this year? Oh, it's so exciting. Oh, it's so incredible. And we're so happy to be with you all on today. Yesterday, I'm celebrating. I got my glasses on. I got my, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what these things are called. Tassels. I don't know, whatever they are. I got my door covered. We're going crazy being able to go and celebrate and ring in the new year the right way in an incredible endeavor of excitement, fun, poise, and action-packed enjoyment and entertainment, all for the viewing and listening pleasure of you, the audience, because you all make this show so special. We're gonna bring this show in with a bang. You're doggone right, yes sir. Yep, there we go. I got it. Hey, look, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm struggling to see. I ain't got good things. These ain't prescription, y'all, and I can't see nothing, but I'll tell you what, we still gonna celebrate, we still gonna have some fun, we still gonna shake up the world in a sense. I feel like it's supposed to be what it's like to have dreadlock. I want to shake my head all the time, because it's keep moving. But it's great. It's enjoyable. Hopefully you had a very festive and a very happy and merry new year. Hopefully your New Year's resolutions are indeed filled with action, fun, self-improvement, and absolute endeavors that will shock and amaze everybody around you. We hope that your year is blessed and incredibly special. We're going to start it off right by doing this show the best way we know how, giving you the best 2 hours of your life, or the best that we can, all while you're at work, at home, on your job, I don't care where. Hey, we're going to be here to entertain. No question about it. We got to talk about SHAKUR Stevenson and TEOFIMO Lopez. We got to talk about Ryan GARCIA and the not even rumored, almost just about confirmed it's going to happen. His fight with Mario Barrios. Can he actually become a champion against Barrios or ever in his career? And if not, why is that a concern going forward as he continues to unfold and evolve throughout his career, and so much more right here on the show. But real quick, let's do the intro properly. If you haven't tuned in and this is your first time, hey, how you doing? I'm Jean-Luc Welch. This is the Welch Report, the hottest show in all the globe right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. Please be sure, if you haven't already, to go ahead and subscribe to the channel and join the empire. That's right. Come on, be a part of the hottest show in all the globe with this conglomerate, this monolith, this mogul of a community, all with you added in. Could be a phenomenal soldier to this empire that we're growing up together. Hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post right here on YouTube, on every podcasting platform imaginable. Also be sure to leave a like on the video. It helps the stream get out to the masses around the world. Let everybody know what we got going on right here on our show. And please, if you would, share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building. There we go, up this empire together, all with you and your support. We can make this possible. We can make this thing bigger, better, and grander with you at the helm of driving this show up in numbers, up in rating, and just in interactions as a whole. Put your chats in the comment section down below, and we can see what you got to say and have your voice be added to the conversation. And don't forget, at the end of the show, we got the championship round. So whatever you want to discuss in the world of boxing or beyond, whether it's the NBA, whether it's the NFL, shoot, what if it's even college football? If I can talk about it, hey, I can be about it, and we can have you come in and have you control the show for the last 30 minutes to an hour of whatever we do. So we appreciate your time and effort. If you want to support the channel, we got Cash App, we got PayPal, we got links down below in the description, as well as we have super chats, super gifts, stickers, and all this stuff. Like I said, the biggest milestone, we got monetized last year. So again, thank you all for tuning in and supporting and making this possible. No question about it. And we can keep on growing and thriving, all with you being able to support this channel. We can't do this without viewers like you. So if you can come and support everybody, whatever you can give, if you can, would mean the world to me, absolutely. But just sticking around and being your presence alone is enough to make this show the best that it can be. No question about it. We got a lot of show to cover. We got people in the chat right now, and I can't even read them because I got to go through and change my glasses. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the show. We got boxing to cover. We got Shakur, Teo, and Ryan all to double into. So with all that being said, it is time to step into the ring for the first time of the year. Yes, sir. Let's get it going. Ring the bell. Let's get it started. Round one of the first show of the new year on the Watch We're going underway. And we have to discuss really quick the endeavors of Ryan Garcia and the question of, can Ryan Garcia become a champion? Yes, indeed. Oh, yes. Is it possible? Can the man, what seems to be, is it a problem that the potential perceived prodigal son, one of the biggest rising stars in the sport, who has somewhat laxed in his successes in where he's been positioned in his career at this point in time, do we start to do we have to start asking questions about whether or not he can truly become a champion? Though it may seem like a foregone conclusion, it might not be as simple as you may think, especially going up against the likes of a very game Mario Barrios. And it might not be, even if you think Ryan Garcia is better, hey, there might be some pushback that you need to take into account when it comes to this entire fight. But with all that being said, let me take off my glasses real quick so I can actually see what you all in the chat are saying. I tried to wear my glasses over these things, but it wasn't working like I wanted to. So we got to do what we got to do, and we got to rock accordingly. But hey, man, we're excited. We're here. We're gonna be putting these glasses on and on throughout the entirety of the show. But I appreciate you all tuning in, and we got people in the chat like I Need a Bird. What's going on, brother? How you doing? Thank you for tuning into the show. We're so happy that you're starting off the new year right with us on our show. It's been a great time. It's been a phenomenal event. It's been a phenomenal day, and we can't wait to see what you have to say. What's going on, man? And definitely a new year, same right. And yeah, the thumbnail tells the story, right? The thumbnail asks the question. We are walking into the time period with Ryan Garcia where now the young identity is wearing off. It's the truth. It's the truth. You may not like it. You may not want to hear that. You may think it might be a little bit too strict, but in all actuality, that's the truth of the matter. The idea of Ryan Garcia as a young star, while it is still true, the how do we say, the leeway because of that title at this point now, I feel with this, with 2026 now coming on the horizon, we gotta, it's shaking off now. We've said that with other champions. We said that where everybody had a timetable of, okay, the ability to reach a certain zenith of success now starts to become a real pressing issue in the eyes and in the minds of a lot of people, because now there's an expected level of greatness that you should be at least close to, if not reaching outright. And at this point in time with Ryan Garcia, we can say it's a little bit lackluster. He's taking on all competition. Don't get it twisted. I'm not going to act act like he's been ducking smoke from trying to go and fight against anybody and everybody that he can. That's not what I'm saying. And also, real quick, let me switch this camera around just a tad to center me a little bit more. But we're not saying that he is running from competition. We're saying that at some point in time, the success with the competition that you're facing, it's got to start being on the up and up, and we got to start seeing some wins. And more importantly, we got to start seeing some championships coming around his waist at this point in time, because now he's at a position after a year-long ban. He is going to fight against Mario, or at least all roads are pointing to. He's going to be fighting against the likes of Mario Barrios for the WBC title. Yes, if you didn't know. Now, whether you want to clap for that or say it's a problem, it's a combination of feelings. I get it. I completely understand. But the issue is, hey, man, he's been at this threshold before where a championship-level competitor has been on the horizon. Yes, he won an interim title, I believe, in another weight class, but it was not a real world, fully blown super championship. And now going up against this stint where he's had, in the last time that he fought for the interim title, which turned into the real title, like against Rolly Romero, well, the buddy got outboxed and he lost against a fighter that he shouldn't. And I will still say to this day, he should not have lost to Rolly. All credit to Rolly, who has improved as a fighter, but he should not have lost to Rolly Romero with the advantages and the skills that we perceived him to have, even post PEDs, going out back to what you've seen throughout his career before the Devin Haney fight. So it's a really concerning issue as to now, hey, we got to start asking, will it ever actually happen? Because as much as he's been in his positions, the successes to concretely put a stamp on, okay, yeah, he's legit and he's a winner, haven't really come to fruition. Though the stardom still stands with Ryan Garcia. But let me see. We got more people in chat. Like, let me see. Is it Denari? I believe it's not. Or is it De Niro? Or is it De Niro? I think it's De Niro, if I'm saying your name correctly. How you doing? Good to see you. We're so happy that you're back. I apologize if I might have fluffed the name. Like I said, hey, look, we're at the start of the year. We're trying to go, and we getting back. We gotta get in rhythm. We gotta, and we're early on in the fight. We gotta work. We're like Smoking Joe. We're gonna start out slow, and then we're gonna work our way up. We're gonna work our way up as the confines of this show continue to delve on. But how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. We're so happy that you're here with us on today at the start of the year, on the first show of this new year. We ain't gonna stop in terms of pushing this show out and giving you all the entertainment and the worthwhile fun as we go into this brand new year. So hey, work don't stop, and neither does the sports. So we're gonna keep on rolling nonetheless. But with going back to Ryan Garcia, Ryan is a fighter who is incredibly physically gifted, has an incredible an incredible potential for a ceiling that he can reach. But this is why the question of New Year, same Ryan, and can Ryan become a champion really comes into play, because I'm starting to get the idea, or at least an uncomfortable feeling, that this Ryan Garcia that we see is going to be the Ryan Garcia that will continue to pan out. And that's not good. That's not good, because there is now, this Ryan Garcia has the capacity to lose to a fighter that he should be able, with all due respect to Rolly, again, should have been able to handle. He should have been able to beat him, but his skill set is incredibly limited. His game plan, injury or no injury, while it is dangerous and volatile against opponents, it is still, if you figure it out, next thing you know, there's nothing else that he can do on all levels of this sport, including the likes of Mario Barrios, who is perceived as the weakest champion at 147 at this point in time. You again had a draw with Manny Pacquiao. Credit Manny Pacquiao for having the ability to still be able to fight at a championship caliber. No question about it. And will he come back and fight against somebody now that it seems like the fight with Rolly Romero is off the table? We'll have to wait and see. But beyond that, strictly with Barrios, he is seen as a tough, rugged Kind of, I think he markets himself as an Aztec warrior of sorts, and it fits the bill. Is incredibly strong. Is a dangerous puncher. Can't take punishment. Has been a fighter with extreme physical gifts and advantages. Skinny at 6'1", just about, with almost a 70-something inch reach. The brother, he's big. That's a big dude for this division. But he is not seen from a skills perspective as one of the tops of the top. A game fighter, but not one of the, amongst the elites, as high as the other elites, and very much so in a regard, though he still is in that conversation. He's not as bad as Kambosos as a championship level fighter. He ain't that bad, but he is indeed, some would argue there's some stuff to be desired for what he can bring to the table, even with his good parts and works. But even that is a potential pitfall for Ryan Garcia, because his skill at this point in time has showed a level of stagnation that now we as fans and Ryan Garcia himself cannot hold as a, hey, he's young standpoint anymore. We can't, at least not in my estimation, not in my belief. And if we don't get privy to this, it's going to be a bigger shock if he does lose to Barrios, because they are going to fight this year, I'm almost assured. If he does lose to Barrios, it's going to be a huge shock to a lot of people, because this was the moment where he's supposed to come up, shine, flourish, finally get the championship around his waist, get the fight with Devin Haney, get that grudge match and a rematch that's going to be one of the biggest fights of the year, most likely in the summer. There's no issue with that from the standpoint of hype, pump, circumstance, and all around acclaim surrounding that. We want that fight, and we do want that fight, be clear. However, doesn't change the fact. And actually, in fact, I can actually now that I'm away, now that we're kind of talking through the nitty gritty, I can put my glasses back on, so we can go on and keep on. I'm gonna try to see if I can wear these with my glasses. Actually, can I? Hold on, let me see if I can. Wait a minute, hold on. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna finish my point. Give me a second. Hold on a minute. We got props, we got decorations, we got doors. Let me see if I can make this work. Can they extend far enough? Can they do it? Can we do it? Hold up. Wait a minute. I got tassel in my eye. I got tassel in my eye. The white. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. It works. All right. It works. Okay. We're good. Okay. I can wear it and I can see. All right. Hey. Look at it. Oh, this is great. I couldn't do it because I couldn't get these things to fit. I got it working now. So we good. Oh, we great now. I can see everything and I can still celebrate accordingly. But what was I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yeah, Ryan Garcia. Ryan, the fear with Barrios is that he's going to fall again by the wayside. And if he does, we're going to have to say, hey, man, where is the improvement that we expected to see from your potential over the last, 2 to 3 years since the fight with Tank Davis? Where is that? And at this point in time, I have not seen it where I need to see it. Again, post Devin Haney with PEDs and whatnot. So it's a concern. I can definitively say, yeah, it's a concern to say the least that we need to be a little bit cautious of as we continue to watch the career of Ryan Garcia unfold, flourish, and shine, and or potentially stagnate. And if it does stagnate, ooh, buddy, that is a dangerous sentiment to experience. No question about it. We still got people in the chat. Like with Al Booker. Hey, brother, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show on this Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you all and everybody who's tuning in to the show. We pray that it's blessed. We pray that it is incredibly fruitful. And we pray that whatever you messed up with last year, hey, you leave it behind. You do what you need to do this year, because we all are going to be moving forward and moving up. We ain't got time to waste, and we are for sure going to step into this year with the ground running. No question about it. All with you and your support, and all with you and your love, because again, we showing love on this show to everybody who steps in through these doors of the empire. And so we thank you all so much for spending time and seeing it as worth the time, hey, to come around here with us on the show. And please leave a like on the stream if you can. It means the world. It helps us out immensely. It helps us to go and show this or make this show even better, even bigger, and even grander than ever before, all with you and your support. And we can make this thing flourish and shine with you in mind to help make it possible. No question about it. But yes, indeed, Happy New Year to everybody. And hey, but this, again, the new year is a dangerous thing because Ryan Garcia could be left in the past. And if that does take place, well, now we have to say this might just be the heights at which Ryan Garcia can reach, which would be incredibly a big disappointment. Let me rephrase it. It would be an incredible disappointment for the lofty potential that we have with Ryan Garcia. And let me continue. I think that's where I left off before I try to put on these glasses. The potential of Ryan Garcia is still the biggest selling point of Ryan Garcia. That's the problem. That's the biggest issue. That's the biggest issue. Let's be clear. That's the biggest problem. The potential of Ryan Garcia is the biggest thing. That is the biggest selling point to Ryan Garcia, and that's not good in my estimation. In my estimation, not at all, because of the fact that if we are still saying that we're looking for Ryan Garcia to take the leap or take a leap, there's a difference. Taking the leap and a leap is two different things. Taking the leap is okay. You have improved, you've gotten better, and then now, boom, we are ready for you to take that final step into the full evolution of your career as a fighter. There's a difference in that and then you taking a leap in the first place. And right now with Ryan Garcia, again, post Devin Haney and PEDs, if Rolling Romero is what we got to have to go off of, Ryan Garcia has not taken a leap that we needed to see in his career. He hasn't taken not the leap, not the big crescendo leap, but just a leap. One sign that there is a step up in your ability. He hasn't done it, at least in my estimation. Now, if you feel differently, I would love to hear it in the chat down below. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. It is still a show that you control as much as I am a part of being the entertainment, the liaison, the mouthpiece of potential reason and just debate that you can go through and have your opinions about. No question. But we can't sit here and look at this fight with Mario Barrios as just, okay, this is the first opportunity that Garcia's got to do some real work and to be able to accentuate his career in an incredible light. There's a difference in that versus this is not just the biggest opportunity or one of the biggest opportunities in your career, but now it is time to show us something that has a legitimate, weighty elevation in your career as a starting point to the full inception of who you are as a fighter. Because I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't care if you feel Mario Barrios is not a better fighter than Ryan Garcia. Be clear. This is a fight that Ryan Garcia can lose very much in a same one-sided affair. Like we saw with Rolling Romero. It's incredibly true. It's incredibly true. That's not me trying to fake it out. That's the truth. There is a real point of emphasis that this fight is just as lethal, it's not more damaging from the standpoint of a volatility to lose. Like what we saw with Rolling Romero, and Rolling Romero was supposed to be, again, a give-me type of fight when we looked at the comparative perceived skill set of each. Rolling Romero is not a person who's going to roll over and just submit and just, oh yeah, you're better, you can't do nothing with me. He's got a better jab and a more effective jab than the likes of Rolling Romero because of that height and length. He's got power, physical gifts. He is somebody who, crazy enough, comparative to what we see with Ryan Garcia, is he actually outclasses Ryan Garcia in some physical advantage. Maybe not in the standpoint of speed. Yes. He doesn't do that. Ryan Garcia still has some of the fastest hands, if not the fastest hands, in the entire boxing world. But in the standpoint of the height, leverage, and ability to crack, especially with Ryan Garcia moving up, or rather this is being his second fight up here, and we already saw that Rolling Romero had enough power to put you down with a hook. Mind you, the shorter fighter in Rolly was able to come on the inside and catch you when you were off balance, trying to do that keeping your chin up in the air yet again. But the Barrios can do that same thing. He can do that same thing. Have an easier time of reaching you with those same issues that you have going against you in the Rolly Romero fight. That we don't know, injury or no injury, if you are going to be able to overcome against that type of physical difference. Normally, we would say the skills of him can go and overtake everything. The skills of him is like he's just too good, too fast. Okay, yeah, he'll be able to handle him. Fine. We've never even called Ryan Garcia the most skillful fighter in the world. We understood that. The biggest aspect is his physical traits. But now he's at a threshold where your physical traits are not enough anymore. They're not. It doesn't seem like it's enough anymore. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like it's able to hold the same weight that it used to when you were on the crescendo up. Because now you're getting caught more consistently. You're getting beat more deliberately. You are being put in situations where, you know, for lack of a better term, hey man, you better, if you ain't careful, you're gonna be in a bad spot. You're gonna be in a bad spot in a bad way, and it ain't gonna end well for you. It won't. Truly, it won't. The gap between the physical separation and the ability to win is now for the physical separation between his opponents and the ability just to dominate due to that main advantage for Ryan Garcia is now starting to fall by the wayside quicker than we've expected. He lost to Tank Davis, though Tank was, again, a better fighter. He still is a better fighter, no question about that. There's no shame in that loss. But even still, the gap closed. Okay, this is what it's going to take for you to win, to get up to that level. Now we're here again, and we're asking those same questions. Can you get up to that level? And I dare say, there's depending on, it's going to be a big dependence on this fight with Mario Barrios. It could be no. It could be Ryan Garcia's here for a good time, even though he's here for a long time. Still sells, still incredibly marketable, still an attraction. But the ultimate crescendo and the ability to become a champion might not be as much of a given with Ryan Garcia as we may have perceived going into not just this year, but in past years. He'll just inevitably, he's going to get there eventually. Not even said he would eventually. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not as confident. I'm not as sure as we go through and still want to read your chats. Right, before I read your chats, let me make sure I got my stream is still up to snuff for one quick second. Hold on 1 minute. Hold on. Minor adjustments to make sure that we are well and good. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, yeah, we said. Okay, yeah, we good. Like I said, look, I'm telling you, it's a little bit difficult for me to see in these things, even with my glasses on, because these grills on the lenses kind of block out some points of where I'm trying to look. So I got to kind of angle my eyes to be able to see what I'm trying to make sure, essentially check and fix. Hold on. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're good. We are good now, and I want to see what you all. I got to switch over to the screen so I can actually see what you all's chats are saying. If anybody's coming in, and if anybody's, we got good guys. We got a lot of people. Hold on, wait a minute. I done messed up. Wait a second. I didn't even get to read y'all's chats. I was too busy trying to talk. Like I said, I'm these glasses got me missing stuff. I'm so sorry. I'll booger. Hey man, look, I appreciate it with the fire and with the glasses. Matt Borgenson, how you doing? With the $2 super chat to start off the year. Yes, indeed, we appreciate you with the monies, with the alms to the empire. No question about it. It is an incredible and generous donation that we appreciate so much. And again, if anybody else wants to give, Cash App, PayPal, links down below in the description. We win all that. Like I said, y'all think it goes in for nothing. I told y'all invest. We're going to do some bigger stuff up here. We got glasses. We got decorating doors. We're doing everything we can to make the whole day feel so special on this auspicious occasion of the new year, the first day of 2026. And then let me tell you something, it's going to be not even hopefully, it will be a great year. I promise you, it will be a great year, no question about it. We appreciate you, Matt Borgerson, for the $2 super chat. Ryan Garcia will never be a champion. Barrios wins, and this is the concern, because this is a more common sentiment. And also, Matt Borgerson, Happy New Year's to you as well, and to everybody in the chat. Also, I think I just now learned how to consistently put out these super chat goals for the stream. So, hey, we can get 10 super chats of any amount. Hey, we can make that a goal just for in general. But we're going to earn it if we can make it happen. We ain't begging for money. Be clear. If you give, if you can. And that's the only reason. You only give if you can. Because I may want to make a revenue, but we ain't gonna be pocket watching the begging. We're going to earn our keep. But if we can get a goal of 10 super chats of any amount, I don't care if it's 50 cents. Hey, I'll be happy. It'll just show we doing some good stuff. It'll show that I'm like, I need this energy is worthwhile, and we're on the right track with people wanting to watch the show. That's the biggest thing. But the biggest thing is just sitting here and watching and just liking the stream and enjoying and chatting. Those are the biggest things to help out the stream and to help make this show even more fun and exciting. So we appreciate all of your support and all of you coming through here on today. Love King, Happy New Year to you. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all of the well wishes. And Happy New Year, nice glasses. Yes, sir. Designed these at the house. Had to go get some material. And now I ain't gonna lie. These curls, tassels, keep hitting me, keep slapping me in the face, and I every time I try to talk, they keep getting in my mouth, and so I'm trying I'm trying to blow them away as I'm talking. See, is this what it's like when people had Jerry curls back in the day, and every time they would move, it looked wet, but it was dry, but it'll be hitting you in the face. And see, this might be what boxers have been going through way back when they be having that Jerry curl juice flying everywhere inside the ring. I'm telling you, every punch looked like a bomb going off because the sweat would fly, but it wasn't sweat, it was grease. That's what it was. Nothing but grease in the ring in the 70s and 80s. In those fights. Yeah, this might be the closest thing I get to it. Who knows? Maybe you might see me with the Jerry curl coming up in one of these shows if I grow out my hair. We may just try to do a throwback show one of these days. Let's see how it goes. But we'll say that for the end of the year. Or for later on in the year. Excuse me, as we're just getting started with everything. But Matt Borgerson and other people hold this same sentiment. Ryan Garcia will never be champion. Whether it's because you just ain't a fan of Ryan Garcia or legitimately because of his skills, this is getting more of a widespread conversation. And I would love to, and in fact, I'll put it on a poll to see how you all feel about it. But with Ryan Garcia, in fact, let me put out this poll real quick. So we can actually see how you all feel. Hold on, gotta make sure my spelling's right. Like I said, these glasses, they blocking out some stuff. Not that. Here we go. Okay, we're gonna put it up. But yeah, see, look forward to seeing you. Look forward to seeing you with the Jerry curl. I mean, hey, look, man, I'm not gonna lie. It might take me a minute. I might just have to buy a wig. I'm not gonna lie, but I got good hair. I'll toot my own horn in that regard. So I might not be putting the stuff in it, but I can do a faux pox type of hair. I can make it shake now. I can make it shake. You trust me? This stuff, you hydrate this stuff. Give me a little. Give me a little. We got some. I got some iron curls around here somewhere. I can curl up a little bit. Oh yeah, sprinkle some water on. I'll be like Roman Reigns, pouring that water on my head, shaking all about. Oh yeah, I can look good now. I can rock it. Be clear now. Hey, I'm a transcendent. I'm a generational looker. I can go in any era. I look good regardless. I tell you what. No matter what era you put me in, no matter what style you put me in, I look good. I know that for a fact. I can rock it now. I don't know if I want to go to the work. I'm not gonna lie, but again, but getting back, so we don't get too far gone and lost in the styles of the years. Ryan Garcia is being more fervently held that the waiting period for him to become not just a champion, but take the leap as to, okay, you, by more than just name alone, you belong as one of the biggest faces in the sport by production. That is now running out. It is. Whether you believe it or not, it is. The time period of Ryan Garcia having the luxury of being a young fighter who is coming up, and yes, he's taking on a bunch of tests, and we are not calling him a duck, like I said earlier. But to actually succeed now, take some time and be at the top of the mountain. Yo, just like with Boots, we got to see some work being done. We got to see some credentials get made. We got to see some successes behind the stardom, or else the stardom is going to just be whatever. You're going to be a fruitless tree. You're going to be a larger-than-life billboard with nothing on it to advertise. There's no substance inside of a career that has glitz and glamour if the glitz and glamour isn't actually real diamonds. And at some point in time, we're not saying everybody has to be 10-time champion. Everybody's got to be Terrence Crawford. That's the goal, sure. But you, for where you are right now and with what we see in you, there's got to be a shift in change to put pedal to the metal. I'm not getting comfortable anymore just saying that, yeah, Ryan Garcia, he can win, he can beat Barrios, he can go and do what he wants to do. I'm not comfortable with just saying that just with him being Ryan Garcia. That's not enough anymore. Especially now that we got, was it Goosen training Barrios, who was the former trainer of Ryan Garcia, who might know some trades and tricks of what is good and what ain't good in terms of his ability as a fighter that Barrios can exploit. You're gonna, I've said this multiple times, and it bodes true even more with him. You're gonna be forced to change. You're gonna be forced to evolve. You're gonna be obligated by your own, not trying to be mean, but by your own stagnation. You're going to be put in a sink or swim situation. And if Ryan Garcia loses to Barrios, that exact sink or swim situation is going to come like a tsunami against Ryan Garcia. Because I promise you, he's on inside the ring. He's featured as a prominent name. He still has the luxury of stardom. But it can come at a price if your successes don't start adding up. That same darling mentality will start falling by the wayside. We've seen it multiple times before. We've seen it so many times before. It's a scary fall from grace that we've seen from boxers once all of a sudden that leeway period goes on. Opportunities dry up. Interviews dry up. Your name starts to become an afterthought. Similar to Charlo. But the way that they're going right now, people aren't really bringing up the Charlos as a fixture, as a tandem, as an identity that is to be looked at and feared, or rather be respected in a way that, oh, hey, man, these people are real dogs. It's not the same for either of them anymore. Different circumstances, understandable. But we've seen it happen. Adrian Broner. Maidana and Pacquiao, after those two losses, all of a sudden, when he couldn't find his footing afterwards, everything kind of just started to roller coaster in a negative way. I don't want that for Ryan Garcia, but it's possible. And him becoming a champion is in jeopardy. No matter how easy you may think Barrios is of a fighter for him to beat, he's not easy. He's not easy in the slightest. Not at all. So you better be very careful. Be very careful about what you see with Ryan Garcia going forward, because it could be all well and good up until that last bell rings and he gets a loss. If he does, it's going to be a lot of work to get back to that. Because I promise you, that fall from grace, it will happen. Now, we still got more people in the chat. Not more people in the chat. We still got more show to delve in and cover on the world of boxing and beyond, like with the likes of more talks with Teo and Shakur Stevenson, as this is the biggest fight of this month to start off the year. This is the one everybody's looking for. It is. This is the fight as we're switching gears in the world of boxing. This is the fight that everybody's clamoring to see. This is the fight that everybody's looking to take precedent with, to take hold with, to take a refuge in as the winner at the start of this year puts himself in a very good position to run this sport, or at least run a portion of the sport. Have a piece of the pie, of the kings of the mountain in the world of boxing. Winner of Shakur and Teo, they get an extremely large slice of said pie and marketability, as well as revenue, as well as control of this division of 140 and affecting the divisions up at 147 if either one of them chooses to go there. They run a whole bunch of stuff, and in regards to more than just ramifications, the talking points of this fight, as we're now getting less than 30, we are exactly 30 days going into it. We still are having strong debates on whether or not Shakur will be able to beat the physical uniqueness of Teo with his own incredibly precision-like boxing ability. And that IQ that we know has been able to wreak havoc over the world of everybody at 135. But we also need to understand, and I think we need to be more mindful, that 140 is a different game. As much as I said that I think Shakur will be fine at 140, there is a difference still that we have to now really take into account. We got reminded of it by the likes of Nakatani going up from 118 to 122. And again, these are the smaller fighters. People say it ain't nothing but a 3-pound weight difference, 118 to 122. It can't be that bad just because they don't understand. 3 pounds is still 3 pounds. It is not. It is a big jump moving through these divisions, and there is a modicum, not even a modicum, it is a substantial felt difference that if you can handle it, okay, you can handle it with ease. But if you don't, you feel the effects. We just saw Nakatani moving up 3 pounds get arguably lose against a not so technical but slugging heavy hitter in Hernandez in a fight of the year contender absolutely for last year. But it was a fight that was kind of like, oh my gosh, maybe Nakatani is not going to be, he ain't going to be what he needs to be up here. This division might be too big for him. Going up against Inoue now, coming up in the summer of May. My goodness, we better be, people are very much on pins and needles. Nakatani, you might get hurt. You might get hurt bad. You might get hurt really bad going into that fight. All because of a 3-pound weight difference. Going up from 135 to 140. I don't care how much we may feel that Shakur has the capacity to go and grow into the division. There is going to be a marketable. Not marketable is wrong word. Well, yes, you can market the difference in the impressiveness of the weight jump. But there's going to be it's going to be felt heavily by Shakur that, hey, this ain't 135. Yes, everybody spars with bigger people in weight classes. Yes, everybody trains with people that are bigger than them. You know, it's a common theme, yeah. But in fight, there is a real difference in a live fight action that even as much as you want to replicate it in the gym, you can't. That's why I was so impressed when Terrence Crawford was able to beat the likes of Canelo Alvarez. That while he was training against opponents that were big, yes, that were 168 and above, yeah, in fight with Canelo, we had seen it's not the same when you get in the ring with that type of 168 pounder. And he was able to handle it with ease. That is all-time great level stuff. It's not always the case. Ain't always the case at all when it comes to the elite level. There's some stuff you can't prep for when you move up in weight like that, as we saw with Junto Nakatani. There's some intangibles that this division brings just by sheer proxy of gaining weight that you can't teach in a live fight scenario necessarily in the gym as much as it is when something's on the line. It ain't the same. So with SHAKUR Stevenson going up against Teofimo Lopez at Teo's division, because he is the best 140 pounder right now, in my estimation. He's the best 140 pounder right now, out of everybody. But TS, Gary Antoine Russell, not Gary Russell Jr., Gary Antoine Russell at 140. Sabrina TS, Ryan Garcia, anybody up there like, even though Ryan Garcia is now fighting at 147. All of them, dang Teo. And the physical presence that he brings, as well as the speed, which is going to be something that SHAKUR, he's fast, or he's quick. Don't get me wrong. That's going to be a different monster. At that combination of size, it is going to be a potential problem. We can't overlook that the boxing savantism can't be overshadowed or even matched by the likes of Teofimo Lopez and his combination of physical presence as well as elite, I do mean elite, boxing mind and ability in both body and in mental capacity. Both of them he excels in a way that SHAKUR Stevenson, because of, again, his identity, which is justifiably earned, he has kind of overshadowed most others when it comes to who can think on his level, which is understandable. But Teo has shown he can get up there. Like I said before, against Lomachenko, like we've seen now against, even with Josh Taylor, and subsequently afterwards at 140, he hasn't had him power, he's had him dominating performances. Brother is a bad man. His court, it makes for even more. It adds another layer to this incredible fight. It's Pitbull 140. I forgot. Pitbull's 140. Lamont Roach is 140. You got more, but of all of them, I believe that Teo is the best 140. Now, if SHAKUR comes up and he beats him, well, then he takes that spot. No question about it. You can argue that right now, SHAKUR, just being in the division, is the best 140 pounder or the second best 140 pounder. Just by him being and moving up here, he takes that rank. Similar to Boots Ennis, though he wasn't proven and hasn't, or though he wasn't proven at the time that he moved up to 147, or excuse me, though he wasn't proven by the time he moved up to 154, still it was perceived that as a talent, he was one of the three best in the entire division. Even with Virgil Ortiz, Frondor, and all of them still at that top. You can argue that's the same position SHAKUR is in right now without a fight up here. Though in the actual hierarchy, he's got to win to get himself in a position. But again, that's a whole other conversation. But I think that he's the best up there. Let me see. If so, I think Pitbull can beat Lopez. Pitbull is at 140. But he couldn't beat Lopez. And the reason why, if you thought Lamont Roach should have won that fight against Isaac Cruz, Pitbull Cruz, if you thought Lamont Roach should have won that fight, and what was a very close affair, that fight would not have been nearly as close if that was Teofimo Lopez. Because from the jump, the way that Lamont Roach was outboxing Teo in the second half of that fight, when he was actually using his feet, using his size, using that flurry of hand speed, doing a little bit of a Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones impression, where he would go through, get on the outside of one, and when he would then explode forward, jump in, pop, do all that stuff, and then get back out, evade, slipping, all that stuff. Teo would have been doing that by round 3, and it wouldn't have been close. He would have Be clear. Teo's a better fighter than Lamont Roach in about every regard. In about every regard. That's not me being unfair. That is the skill set of Teo at his best. I've been saying for years, Teo and Tank, if they fought against each other, that would have been a fight. Hey man, Tank would have been in at 135 with Teo at his best. Oh yeah, that would have been a scary fight for Tank Davis. That would have been a scary fight for Tank Davis. At 140 would be a scary fight for anybody. When Teo was at his best at 135 and now at 140, it's a scary fight. Pitbull, his style is reckless, but again, Steve Claggett was also reckless and relentless, just like with Teofimo Lopez. And you saw what happened there. Over 1,000 punches thrown collectively in the fight. Teofimo Lopez, crazy enough, upping his output as the fight went on, outlasting the sustained aggression of Steve Claggett to actually take even more definitive rounds as the second half of the fight drew closer to an end. He's got the stamina to stay with him, which Isaac Cruz we've seen gas out if he keeps on swinging and missing. If he swings and lands, okay, he can keep it up for however long. But if you start making him miss on those big swings, you can gas him out late. Teo would have made him miss a whole lot more than the likes of Lamont Roach, and would have outboxed him better. And if he did want to brawl, yeah, he would have been in danger, as was with Lamont Roach, of getting knocked down and potentially knocked out. That's not going away because it's Isaac Cruz, but he would have handled it so much better. I'm firmly of the belief that fight wouldn't have been close. That fight would not have been close. Not because Isaac Cruz can't fight, because Teo is that good. He's that skilled. He's that advanced. He's that good. He's on a different pedestal than others around him. Not because of hyperbole, but because it's the truth. At least to me, it's true to me. It would still be a great fight, be clear. It would still be a great fight, and Isaac Cruz could knock him out. I just don't think that it would happen. Now, I strongly believe that Lopez would have been able to more handedly control what the likes of Pitbull would have been able to do, unlike with Lamont Roach. But if that fight comes around, hey, I'd love to see it. I would love to see Shakur Stevenson versus Isaac Cruz. That'd be a fun fight, at least from the standpoint of aggression versus defensive prowess. What can win the day? How can it go? It'll be interesting. But like I said, just like with Teo, I think Shakur would have completely handled it. At least in my estimation. Humble opinions, all is what I have. Let me see. I'm in Rhoda. How you doing? Good to see you. Happy New Year to you all. And to you and yours, hopefully you are celebrating in the best way possible. I got some eggnog I got to make sure I can drink. Also, we don't make sure it goes spoiled. So after this, I'm going to get me some celebratory eggnog to go and celebrate my festivities. A little bit of chocolate milk in there, or just give me a little bit of chocolate syrup, some cinnamon. Eat it with some cake. Oh yeah, we starting this year off in a sugar rush. I tell you what, a couple of weeks away from Teo versus Shakur. Yep, we are. It is all the rage. What a way to start off the year in one of the biggest fights that we have right now. Where does Teo go if he beats Shakur? Now, this is a very good question. This is a very good question, Ahmed. If we see Teo beat the likes of Shakur Stevenson, well, there's two ways he can go. He can go and try. Of course, the biggest one that we all like to see, go after Undisputed. There is a bunch of names at 140. This is a stacked division from the perspective of name recognized talent. 154 from an outright perspective is still seen as the deepest as a whole. But from a name perspective, Isaac Cruz, Lamont Roach, Gary Antoine Russell, Sabril Matias, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, Teo against any of those names is a very highly touted, perspective, and entertaining fight that everybody would want to see. He can go through the ringer if he so chooses and attempts to come and reign at this division and stay at 140. He might have just found his comfort zone. He might have found his sweet spot. This could be, if it all goes well, this could be the best division for him. It could be. Not to mention the likes, not to mention the likes of Richard Hitchens, who is a champion, why people may not want to see him, myself included, in terms of I'm not high on him. Y'all know me. I respect him. Not high on him as an entertaining fighter. Which is why I don't want to see him versus Devin Haney ever get in the ring. But even still, Richardson Hitchens, Teofimo Lopez, Gary Antoine Russell, Lamont Welch, Eastside Cruz, there is a shoot. Even Dalton Smith, depending on how he fights, going up against Gabriel Matias. There's a lot of good names out there. Oh, let's not forget Frank Martin. Hey, we saw what he did. We saw what he did against Barthélemy. All of a sudden now he's back in the mix at his debut at 140. Okay, we got to keep an eye on this kid. This man at 140 is looking like, at least in his first stint, against a respectable opponent. Hey, he handled that business in a scary way. That counter that he threw was insane. Off angle, that straight left. The Tank, and look, mind you, I was telling y'all, Frank Martin is a good fighter. For Tank to beat him like he did, yes, is incredibly impressive. One of the better wins in Tank's career. I have adamantly been saying that. Now you see why. This cat can crack. If he had fought with this level of confidence against Tank, who knows what would have happened? If he had fought with that level of confidence against Tank Davis, with that type of commitment to precision, he probably would have landed that straight trade that both him and Tank threw. It was around 4 of their fight. And Lord knows what that would have done if that had changed. He keeps on fighting like this. Yeah, 140 could be a division that he can be a dark horse that all of a sudden works his way up quickly through all of these folks. There's a lot of names that Teo can go through and fight down here and make a bunch of money with. If he doesn't, mark my words, he's looking for Devin Haney at 147. Mark it. Mark it right now. Mark it right now. That is the most substantial move he could make. Beyond just undisputed in the fights at 140, he can go and aim with Ryan Garcia moving up at 147, Devin Haney going up to 147, you wanting to still be in the mix and keep on gaining ring and lineal championships, fine. You can see him go up there. He can fight as a tune-up. He can fight the likes of, Rocha. He can fight Abel Ramos. I just said he can fight Manny Pacquiao at 147 if he wanted to. After beating Shakur, that would be a huge fight and would be received as a good fight. Old guard, new guard. Takeover versus the Takeover versus the brother who took over boxing as an all-decade and even an all-century level fighter. Brian Norman Jr. is up there. You can fight him. And again, it's not as deep, but the top level. Pacquiao, from the standpoint of name, Pacquiao, Barrios, Haney, and if Ryan Garcia wins, Ryan. But he can fight Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney for each of their titles individually. Or take a title from the winner of that fight between Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and then go fight the loser subsequently in a fight just to say, I beat, of the 3 kings that were in my same era at 135 when we all were coming up in the sport, I beat 2 of the 3. Not 1 and 1, not everybody's getting the win or splitting the win or whatever. I got 2 bodies on my resume. I'm the closest thing that we got to Usyk in the standpoint of everybody in my era I took out that were at the top or seen as up here. I did it. He can go that route. And if he did, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad at all. Let me see. Hiroka and Russell would be a good fight for Teo. They would be. I would be very much more excited for Russell. Because that power and speed going up against Teo, I would love to see what Teo was able to do with that. And if we do see Russell win, my gosh, that shakes up the whole division. If Teo wins his upcoming fight, I would love to see Tank versus Teo. Well, see, and that goes into whether or not we see Tank come back. Again, the rumor reel is still churning and turning that we are going to see Tank dead. And I'm scared to say it because it almost sounds like a fiction. But if you didn't know, the rumors out there in the boxing world right now, Tank Davis is going to return at 140. Legitimately. For all the talk that we've said about him never fighting at a weight class that he's knocked out Barrios before, the rumors are he's coming back, looking at multiple opponents. Yes, Ilshaki Falls is one of them. Yes, Isaac Cruz is one of them. But there's been a couple more names beyond just Isaac Cruz at 140 that he's been bringing up as a real potential. I'm going to fight up here in my return. So I would love to, you want to talk about a match made in heaven. If Tank got to 140, all of a sudden, 140 and 147 completely shifts in the framework of the ability, or of not just hype, but the movements of the entire division change for both of them. Tank comes back. All of a sudden, we see Devin Haney sticking around at 147. We see Ryan Garcia maybe even drop back down to 140 if he loses Devin Haney just to get a shot at a rematch. With no rehydration clause and all that stuff involved. We see Isaac Cruz all of a sudden potentially go on a warpath of marketing and potential opponent destruction, aiming to get his get back against Tank. Lamont Welch all of a sudden gets that rematch becomes the first thing everybody wants to see. And dare I say, he's got leverage that no opponent over Tank has ever had before in their career. Everybody moves different if Tank does fight at 140 because Tank Davis is vulnerable. Understand that. That's why. That's the biggest, that's the whole premise. Unlike in the past, Tank is vulnerable. He's vulnerable. His money is vulnerable. His name is vulnerable. His skill set is vulnerable. His division, or rather his standing in the division, is vulnerable. Because no longer does he A, reign at the top, or B, fighting where everybody else has to go to his level, scaling for their weight. He's fighting up there. He showed he can do it. He's got to do it again. But now he's up where everybody else looks to be, at the fullest of their capacities now, at 140 and beyond. So one of the bigger instances of weight clauses, rehydration clauses, all of that now goes out the window. If anything, even if he added them to a fight at 140, it wouldn't help. Because everybody's body can, most of them at 140, can make weight perfectly fine. And if you do move up to 147, well, guess what? You might as well not bother. Because a 10-pound rehydration clause for, dare I say, Ryan Garcia at 140, or excuse me, at 147, guess how much that is? 157. That's more than comfortable for him to fight. It's a lot better circumstance than it was when he was at 135 from a weight draining perspective. There is a real red flag that everybody sees above the head of Tank. If he comes back, Tank knows it. His fans, if they don't know it, they better start knowing. And I see it. For better or for worse, I see it. It's there. Because it's there, divisions are going to shift to take advantage of, okay, the old king is looking 1 foot in the grave. Time for us to pounce. It can move like that. I'm telling you, I'd love to see it, but It's on Tank to actually make that move up there. Mercedes is the W. Okay, Mercedes. Okay, you're right. You are right. Mercedes is the WBA champion. I completely forgot about saying Mercedes' name. That is my fault. I do apologize. We moving through a whole bunch of stuff right now. Dalton Smith and Matias is going to be a war. Yes, it will, but he will never fight anybody of them. Man, I don't want to say that he won't. In reference to Tank Davis, I don't want to say that he won't. But though I've been saying it for years, or at least the past year and a half, I don't want to say that though, because I don't want that to be the real circumstance. But that's the reality with Tank Davis. He, unlike Ryan Garcia, unlike Teofimo Lopez, unlike Shakur Stevenson, unlike every other name that he was around during his prime, even though he's in his prime right now, the risk assessment for him has always been the safest route. And when we talk about he hasn't fought anybody that we wanted to see, we're not talking about the champions that came after Tank beat him. That's not the conversation. And I want to make it clear, because sometimes it gets brought up when I'm talking against Tank. Yes, Tank has fought multiple champions over his career, many of which became champ after he beat them, but weren't champ when he fought them. Understandable. That does not mean his resume is in the gutter. It's not a terrible resume. But from the standpoint of true greatness, no, it sucks. Why? Because when context is applied, when he fought them, was always with a caveat of something in a negative light. And when there was somebody that was at the level that Tank was at in a skills or accolades perspective, he did not face them ever, even after they had been shown to have lost. And still to this day has not done and fought an active caliber champion or even contender that is seen as on his level while he is at the top of his game. That's where the detraction lies, and that's where the frustration of you've had a bunch of great names pass you by, all because you didn't take the smoke when it was supposed to be, this guy fits the bill, he can beat you. Let's see you beat him. And this is a real test against a real dog that actually doesn't belong in the ring and is in the same caliber of skill set and acclaim as where you are, or similar to it, at the elite level that you are at. This is the demographic that you belong in. These folks in the same demographic are around the same area. You can fight them, but you don't. That's where the problem becomes. Hey, we don't like the resume of Tank. That's not a Hall of Fame level career with Tank. It's not, because of that type of stipulation. It's, again, we're in the mix. Tank, 140, all that opens up again, but he's got to make the move. He's got to be the one to make the move now. It's always been that case, but now more than ever. Now more than ever. But Willie, I just don't know. I just don't know. Backwell is finally back this month. January 31st, can't wait. Everybody's coming back, thankfully, and starting off into the year right. I hope and pray that we see the likes of Backwell be more active than we saw him last year, which was almost not active at all. I mean, that was hard. Good gosh. And even, shoot, I forgot at 154. I forgot to even say Backwell. Up there in the ring. Again, it's a stacked division. No question about it. That buddy's in the gym for a long time. I I'm going to tell you this. I better see, with how long he has been off, and if he's been really training like he says he's been training, I better see a Bakram that all of a sudden I can say, hey, this brother might be up there with some of the 4 best in the division that he ain't for. He's already a champion. He's already dang. We saw what he did to Tim Tszyu. But I want to see a performance that even blows that out the water. With how much time he's had to really prep and refine what he is as a fighter. I need to see that. He does that. It ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. That ain't bad at all. Not bad at all. Let me see. Get ready to put K to sleep. I'm expecting him to knock him out. I really am. I really am expecting him to knock him out. Because at this point, this is what he is known for. It's not the defense. It's not the footwork. It is the hand speed, the trading ability when he can go and punch with anybody and get the better of them, as well as the destructive force that can stifle everything in a heartbeat. Everything coming out from that brother's hands, from the standpoint of power, is a thudding brick wall of punishment. It's a cinder block that he throws with in both hands, which is ridiculous. Which it's insane. It truly is insane when you actually think about the power of how Bakram can change a fight like that on a moment's notice, without a moment's hesitation. No matter what the circle, and it's a carrying power. We haven't seen him go late often. Why? Because he doesn't have to go late often. Why? Because he can put you out at the drop of a hat. At the drop of a hat. Without any concern. Without any effort. You don't even got to be damaged. It's just going to be, you're done. That's all you hear. And then all of a sudden, he's out. He's gone. Vamonos. Hey, look at this. Everybody's saying, oh my gosh, what a knockout. That's how it can be. I mean, that's how it can be. That's how it's, it can get bad real quick for anybody in that ring with the likes of Bakram. Truly it can. Truly it can. But I still want to hear from you all in the world of boxing and beyond. I think actually we might have, we actually might have some extra time, because it is crazy enough. Crazy enough. We talked about so much stuff at the end, on Tuesday last year. Crazy. We talked about so much stuff on the last show of the year last year. We ran out of topics to talk about for this year. To start off the year. That's why I was scared to go that long, because of the fact that everybody was taking all my good points. And I was like, well, we're going to end this year off right. But doggone it. A lot of the conversation that we had that I was going to delve into today, we went into in even more detail, sticking the last show of last year. So crazy enough, we actually got a whole bunch of time to delve into the world of the championship rounds way earlier than we normally do in terms of a structured show. We're still going to have topics. Don't get it twisted now. Don't get it twisted. We ain't skirting responsibility. We're just going to open up the floor a little bit earlier to let everybody have a more advantageous time. We're going to start off the year by being more fan-friendly, to having your comments and concerns, hopefully not concerns, but having your comments, debates, questions, and all abounding enthusiasm for this show. We're going to give you a platform and a stage to say what you want to say and do what you gotta do. So come on in. It's the championship rounds earlier in the show as we starting off the year all right by getting our fan interaction, your voice, your conversation. You control the outcome and the output of what this show is going to be for the next 30 minutes to an hour. We want to hear what you gotta say, what you wanted to talk about: football, basketball, the NBA, the NFL, boxing, any stories, rumors, debates, fantasy matchups, all of the like. If I can talk about it, I will be about it, and I'll discuss it. If I can't, I'll say, hey, I don't have much on that topic, and I'll have to go through and research it and look at it later on. I'm not going to act like I know it all, because I don't know it all. If I knew it all, guess what? I wouldn't know it. I wouldn't know nothing, because then I would be closed off to learn. So you doggone right, I don't know everything, but I'm here to learn, and I'm here to see your thoughts and opinions on whatever I can give. I'll give to you all, but we still got a whole bunch of show and still got other topics that we will discuss as more offshoots as you're getting your questions together. Nonetheless, let me see what you all got to say in the chat down below. Let me see. Adam Azim and Dalton could be massive fights if both of them win. That would be a very good fight to witness. Now, I wish now this is going to sound, it's a question for the public. Would Adam Azim and Matias be a better fight than Azim versus Dalton from the standpoint of action, or a more dangerous fight? In your estimation, I would love to hear that. Which opponent would you like to see amongst those two? If you could have your pick, I'm assuming it's Dalton, because to get Dalton phenomenal fight, that would be a great fight. But if it was Matias, ooh, buddy, I wouldn't be mad at that in the slides. I'm seeing, in a way, it's starting to become a megastar. Yep, he is, but the Americans and a lot of people are starting to watch this cat. Because the Americans are starting to watch this, but it took them long enough. Hey, look, let me tell you something right now. It took them long enough. It took them, and do you know why? This, in a way, for the states, is building up in momentum due to the fact that now the one fight within a way that everybody has been talking about, that was the only fight amongst any of the smaller divisions in bantamweight, is now on the horizon to actually have. I'm sorry, I'm trying to smell it. I think somebody barbecuing outside. I'm smelling something through my window, through my windshield. It's like, yeah, I think somebody's definitely grilling out there. Somebody's getting their party on today. But also let me take these things off real quick so I can actually. Hey, look, these things. Let me tell you something. These glasses are fun. These things are pinning the back of my head in a way that is oh so painful. Oh my gosh. I ain't got a big head much. These things just tight. Good, great day. Hold on. I'm gonna put it back on. Just give me, let me let my forehead breathe a little bit. Let me let my forehead breathe. And then I can come through and talk some more about. Gosh, my temples are hurting. My goodness. But what was I saying? I was talking about what was I talking about? Inoue. Everybody has been hearing about Nakatani versus Inoue for years now. Years they've been discussing that fight. Because of that, that's been the only resourceful name that the public has been able to see on a consistent basis or hear, pushing it in the mind's eye constantly. With that being the case, pushing it in the mind's eye, part of marketability, now all of a sudden somebody is too big to ignore. A matchup is something that if it does happen, you will care. That's the only fight with Inoue that people cared about. Nakatani versus Inoue. That's the only one that people cared about on a real level. That's why that Riyadh season card, the last card of the year, got so much more traction. That's why now we're seeing the likes of fans turning over a new leaf, starting to talk about Inoue a little bit more. Pound discussions, he's getting number one and number two in a lot more deliberate fashion. Because there's something coming up everybody's got their eye on now. And if he wins that, all of a sudden, okay, yeah, I can't say nothing else. Sure, we're going to want to see Bam. Let's get Bam in there. It's always going to be who's next. Like Goldberg, who's next? It's always going to be that. However, it's not going to be in the same capacity of he's got to prove himself. Now it's okay. All right, he's that good. All right, he's that special. Okay, I can't say nothing against him now. Let's see who can actually beat him now that I understand he is that great. which is why he's getting that type of traction, which I love. It just took him long enough. It's a shame, but it took him long enough. Really a shame. I won't be surprised if in the near future, this guy headlines a mega, the MGM in America, or excuse me, MSG in America. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised at all. The biggest fight with Inoue is gonna come in the fight with Bam. I'll call it right now. The biggest fight with Inoue is gonna come when it comes to America. It's gonna be the fight with Bam Rodriguez, or it's gonna be against one of the fighters at 150 at 126. Nick Ball over in the UK, most likely Wembley Stadium, or potentially Espinoza over here in America. One of those three is going to be the biggest fights that he gets outside of Japan from the standpoint of revenue or marketability. But specifically in America, it's going to be either Espinoza or Bam Rodriguez. Bank it on being Bam Rodriguez over here in the States. Madison Square Garden, if it gets with how Japan turns out, Madison Square Garden won't be able to hold it. With how Japan normally turns up, shows up, and shows out, they won't be able to. What's up behind me? Okay, never. I thought something was behind me. I'm sorry. I thought I dropped something behind my chair. With how Japan normally turns up and shows out, it won't be, MSG won't be big enough to hold that crowd. Madison Square Garden will not be big enough to hold that crowd in a fashion that is big enough for the moment. Almost assured. Almost assured of that. I guarantee. Because when we're looking at stars, buddy, he's the cream of the crop. He's the tip of the top. He is the end-all be-all from the standpoint of as a name and as a talent. Everybody wants to see him. Everybody puts on their best glasses, showing up to try to go through and see the monster at work. And I guarantee you right now, whereas the monster continues to reign, rule, it's going to be, he becomes undeniable and incredible. And I promise you, one of those two fights are going to be what he has in the States. And I can't wait to see it, no question about it. But we're still in the championship rounds. We want to hear from you all in your conversation and thoughts on anything involving the world of boxing and or beyond the NBA, the NFL, or just boxing itself, movies, television, video games, all of that. We want to hear from you in your conversations. Nonetheless, 30 minutes to an hour, whatever you want to discuss in the world of sports, we can discuss it. And if I can talk about it, hey, I'll bring it up in conversation. Let me see. Also, Nick V, what's going on with you? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning into the show. If it's your first time, hey, welcome to the Welch. I'm your host, Jean-Luc Welch. We cover the world of boxing and beyond 3 days out the week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year to all of you coming in and joining us on this incredible start to what hopefully is going to be a very blessed and incredibly exciting year. Hey, man, it's going to be great, and I can't wait to see what you got to say. And if we just let me see, the Dr. J picture is fire in the back. Yes, indeed, Dr. J, my favorite player of all time in the NBA. And one of the pioneers of above-the-rim action, best player in ABA history, 3-time champion in the ABA, 1-time champion, or 2 or 3-time champion in the ABA, 1-time champion in the NBA. Collectively was the 3rd highest scorer in NBA history by the time he retired. Would have had even more points if the ABA and NBA merger had made the points over here in the NBA. Actually, no, I think they did combine it. My apologies. They did combine the stats and accolades, though they don't recognize the championship, regardless of which. The best player of his era, definitively number one. Phenomenal, love him. Hopefully I get to meet him one day. I got a card need for him to sign of a Dr. J card. I need to get him to sign that so we can make some money. And not only make some money, I've had that on a plaque and I'm put it on the wall. It's gonna be incredible to see. But let me keep on seeing what you all gotta say. Yes, sir. Just hey, hold on. We got another one. Wait a minute. Hold up. We got another soldier in the empire of this army. Thank you, Nick V, for coming through and subscribing to the channel. We appreciate you being a part and now fully being a part of this empire of a community. We are an army that's growing stronger, a monolith that stretches across the globe, across the world, from Asia to India to Afghanistan, the UK, in London. We get you all across the globe, Mexico, the Tijuana, don't matter where, Guatemala. We are global, baby. We may be small, but buddy, we do what we do best right here, giving you the best unbiased opinions and takes and absolute fun and debates in the world of sports and beyond. We want to hear from you all as well. And since you're here, hey, since you already subbed, leave a like on the stream. And if you haven't, anybody who's here, leave a like on the stream. Go ahead, feel free to. If you want to give to the channel, we got Cash App and PayPal. We're funded by viewers like you. We ain't got no sponsors right now, so we're doing the best that we can. And you all are keeping this show the best that it can be, and we appreciate all the support. But just you being here is enough, does my heart good, and just sharing the show helps this channel out oh so immensely if you would be oh so kind. But we still got more stuff to discover in the world of boxing and the sports in general. Imagine Inoue versus Carrington at MSG. That would be an insane level of hype and competition. It would also be an insanely one-sided affair because Carrington's getting put to sleep. He's getting knocked out. That's the best fighter in the world going up against a brother in Shushu Carrington, who, mind you, is still developing in his run to a championship at 126. He's still a contender. He still is turning into an elite person. Everybody's gonna have to worry about, but at the same breath in time, Carrington ain't ready for that smoke. We need to see if Carrington's ready for Nick Ball as an opponent, if he's ready for Angelo Lee as an opponent, if he's ready for Espinoza as a real threat to those titles. If he gets to that level of threat, okay, we can have a conversation. Yeah, he can be somebody legit. Now, from a fan's perspective, going against Boots Shoochu Carrington, he beat Shoochu. A lot of community is going to be a fan of Inoue. He beats and knocks out Carrington in bad fashion, like I can almost assuredly see him do. He's going to gain a whole bunch of fans. It ain't going to be hate. Because all of a sudden, it's the biggest thing with America, you got to do it against somebody that we know over here until you can really prove that you're worth your weight in gold. He does that to Bruce, boy. And he will. That, ain't gonna be, I don't know what they're going to be able to say about that now. After that, and so, but I'm excited for it. Now, listen, he got a lot of American fans watch his last fight. If he comes to America, now he will do massive numbers. He will, and that's why I'm excited for it. And again, in a way, as in my opinion, pound for pound, he's the best fighter in the world right now above Usyk, without Terrence Crawford being in the mix because he's retired. Inoue is the best in the world. He is at a cachet right now, especially after that fight with the Riyadh season, how he decimated and absolutely outshined Picasso in every capacity. He's at a point in time where his ability is more so not just being seen and recognized, it is getting pushed in the identity of greatness, or rather pushed towards the identity of greatness that is unique in a way that, like with Crawford, like with Canelo, like with the likes of Usyk, all the respect that they garnered from the hardcore fans translated eventually to the casual audience of boxing. In a way, hardcore fans have known this brother is indeed the truth in every capacity. We've known this. Crazy enough, my channel got built off of making a video off of two people, Tank Davis, Boots Ennis, asking questions with each of them, breaking down the fight with Ryan Garcia, and then talking about Inoue being the best fighter in the world. Above Crawford, above Tank, above Inoue, above, not above himself, above the likes of Tyson Fury, above Anthony Joshua. It didn't matter who you put in the way, above Charlo. Didn't matter. He was and deserved to be untouched by the masses at that point in time. Because he was like that. And he still is like that. Crazy enough, he's getting older, he's getting more mature with his ability. His frame is filling out. His power is still felt and is destructive. His mind is now working in a better capacity. He is turning into a force of nature that the public is now starting to be able to witness and see on a casual level, not just a hardcore level. Especially coming from Japan, it's tough to translate to a wide level acclaim unless you have the backing of a system or you just become undeniable. And in a way, he's become undeniable without the luxury of being marketed in a way that you would see with others in the framework of the boxing world, like with the Tank, like with the Ryan Garcia, and all these other big names. It's a testament to his greatness, testament to his fortitude, it's a testament to his skill and his production. 2-time undisputed, can potentially be 3 if he goes up to the likes of 126. 27 straight consecutive championship fights. 24 of them have been by KO. Mind you, he's got 30 to 31 fights. One of the highest knockout ratios in the world. One of the best defensive fighters that we have right now, though it is the most non-touted part of his game. The best finisher we got in the sport today. Yes, I said that, and I stand by it. As a finisher when you're hurt, outside of maybe Archie Beterbiev, it is incredibly hard to find anybody, even Fabio Ward, find anybody that can put somebody down when they're ready to go as effectively and cleanly as the likes of anyway. He's one of a kind. He's transcendent. He's going to be one of the 10 greatest fighters I've ever seen. And he will be, I guarantee you, if the career goes the way I think it's going to go, we got an argument for top 5 brewing in our midst under the noses of the Usyks and of the Crawfords of the world with that resume that he's putting together. My gosh, don't let him stay around for longer than just 2027 like he says when he's looking like he's going to wrap his career up. Don't let him stay. Don't let him pull a Usyk and say, I got more time. I got more left in me. I got more gas in the tank. But he goes and accomplishes that. Works his way up to the same level of a Manny Pacquiao. Transcending multiple divisions, getting to 6 to 8. And he succeeds. My gosh. Even just getting up to 135, he's able to be successful there. Boy, you want to, man, that'd be insane. That would be insane. Let me see. Joshua Hunter, hey, brother. How you doing? Glad you're back. Thank you for tuning in to the show. Happy New Year to you as well. Appreciate you coming in on our live stream, the first show of the year. Keeping our normally scheduled programming. We're going to still keep you the energy and fervor and fire. And let me see what you got to say. If Shakur wins, he should be top 3 to fight. Now, this is a very good question or a very good conversation to have going back to the world of Shakur versus Teo. If Teo loses and Shakur beats him, he does deserve to be in that top 5 conversation, depending on how he wins. Depending on how he wins. That's definitely important. Moving up in pound for pound is not easy. It ain't. Canelo's at 10th for me right now. He about to get bounced out entirely. Teo's at 9 and Shakur's at 11. And it's because of the legacy and the work we've seen Teo do of recent. I can't deny. And so, but both of them are interchangeable. We could see. And I say this in as truth of a power standpoint as I can. We can see Shakur, if he beats Teo, definitively get within that 9 to 8 range. He's above Devin Haney. If Shakur beats Teofimo Lopez, he's above Devin Haney. Guaranteed. For me, he's above Devin Haney. Yeah, that's a 4-division champ beating who is seen as not just the best 140 pounder in the world, but somebody who has been of recent looking like a menace in every capacity from a boxing perspective against anybody in Teofimo Lopez, who was seen even with Devin Haney being at the top of being reigning as undisputed. When they were all at 135, the most volatile figure of all 4 fighters was Teofimo Lopez. Robbed arguably of undisputed already when he beat Lomachenko. Because it was for the franchise title and that whole mess that came about. Ridiculous. Regardless of which. He beats Teo. He's at 8. He's above Devin Haney in my estimation. That either knocks Canelo out entirely and bumps Teo down to 10, or that bumps Teo out of the top 10. Whatever you feel, okay, fine, we can have a discussion. If he dominates Teo, if he dominates Teo, now he's going at, we got to now gauge, does he deserve to be above Bam Rodriguez, Dimitri Bivol, and David Benavidez? With the work that Benavidez has done, especially with him now getting ready to fight Zerto, at his debut at cruiserweight, when he was denied the opportunity to fight against Bivol at 175 for the titles. That's tough for me to put him above. Bam Rodriguez, it's a given. He's not getting above Bam. There's even an argument right now that Bam should be number 2 in the world and not number 3. And Usyk should be number 3. If we want to go there, we can go there. We can have that conversation. But right now, Usyk's at 2. Bam's at 3. He ain't taking Bam's spot because Bam's got too much density of work. Too much density of work with names that are indeed quality. You can say that they were older. Guess what? They were still at the top of their game when he beat. They were still at the top of the division when he beat them. He just beat Martinez, who was the best fighter at what was it, 115? In his last fight, when he knocked him out in the 10th round, walked him like a Sunday stroll for the entirety of the fight. Beat him, destroyed him, like he's done with everybody else. He ain't above that. Is he above Bivol, who's undisputed, or who was undisputed at light heavyweight, off the backs of beating Artur Beterbiev? Or with him avenging his loss from losing to Artur Beterbiev, and beating him at his own game. Does he deserve to get shine over that if he beats the likes of Teofimo Lopez? Though Dimitri Bivol's inactivity makes him the most vulnerable out of everybody else, but again, it's because of injury. If it wasn't, he would have been fighting Beterbiev for a 3rd time. And depending on that, if he had beat Beterbiev twice in a row, that 4th spot would have been solidified. So it's tough. The highest I could go would be 6th. Comfortably. And again, depending on the severity of the dominance, he could get to that 5th spot. It would have to be, again, something insane of a performance. But the highest I could go would be 6th in the world, pound for pound. It's not disrespect because he deserves to be in that conversation, but it's the reality of what we're dealing with. What he's got to work above is some serious contenders. But with Teo's own resume, which is incredible by itself, he's 8th in the world. That shows you how, there's some real work you got to do. Not saying this isn't part of that work. And he moves up if he beats him. But I would, instead of top 3 to 5, because he ain't above Bam. Definitely ain't above Bam. And he definitely ain't above Benavidez, even with this win. I could put him at 6, comfortably. And depending on how he wins, from there we can have a conversation of whether 5th should be Shakur's or David Benavidez's. On my list anyway. But if you got him as it will be 3rd, I ain't got a problem with that. Like I said, it's subjective. You have your thing. I just have to put that. That's where I would put him. Let me see. Shakur needs more work, and that's the biggest thing. It's this whole top 5 conversation outside of Bivol has been a conversation of density and or legacy, even if it's only 1 fight a year. The consistency of work, fighting more often, helps to bolster not just your own skills, but to further put you in a better position to be ranked higher because you've been doing more work with everybody around you. That's the thing that helps. And fans are getting more excited with that. Oh, he's fighting. Not just, he's fighting once or twice. Oh, he's fighting again. A 3rd time. Anyway, fighting 4 times a year is one. It's hard to say anybody fought more than him. If it was, it ain't many. At the elite level, it was nobody that fought more than him. Of the top 10, nobody fought more than him. That's the crazy thing. And Shakur is young enough. Let me rephrase it. Shakur's youth would say he could fight 2 to 3 times a year. But his hands, that's not the case. His health in his hands are the biggest thing that's keeping him from being able to fight at that same high rate of consistency, which I can't hold it against him. Though it is a caveat for what can elevate somebody in pound for pound. I can't hold it against him that, hey, the brother just he's got brittle hands as a moniker that he's got to overcome. Again, Floyd had the same thing. It's not a detraction, it's just the reality. Working your way around it is something that he's got to do. If he can find a way, even better. That would help out even more. Will he is the bigger question. Maybe not. But what helps, even if you can't fight that multiple times a year, is when you do fight, you're taking on true, huge level tests. Fighting Zepeda with that type of onslaught, going around in your next fight, you fighting the likes of Teo. After Teo, if you only fight 2 times a year, you go through and you fight. Again, you move up again. Yeah, 147. Or you fight the likes of Lamont Roach, Eastside Cruz, Antoine Russell. That's if he chooses to say that. He could. Again, we could see a situation. Shakur moves up and then moves back down to fight Abdullah Mason. Don't forget that. He could move up and then move back down to fight Abdullah Mason. He could move up and then move back down and fight and try to go and get Tank. If he really does. Because again, the leverage conversation with everybody against Tank, it is fervently seen now. Other people got cards that they can play, especially if they win against each other. They're taking advantage of that. Thank gosh that they're finally doing it. But if he beats Teo, and Tank doesn't move up to 135, 140, Shakur can say, hey, let's fight at a catch weight. But again, I control the cards, not you. And we're going to fight. And I'm going to come back down. And we're going to get this settled straight up. Same thing with Teofimo Lopez. There is a lot of leverage that this fight has in connotation, not just with the win, but the ripple effects afterwards. That's why this fight, that's why it's important to understand. It's important, listen. That's why it's important. It's important to understand. As this new year begins, Teofimo Lopez and Shakur control the emotions and the trajectories of 140 of the 140 pound division, 135 pound division, and upwards to 147, depending on their results. That's not hype. That's real. They control or they can dictate the destinies to some degree. The inevitable end, from the standpoint of what is the end goal. They can control that with their win against each other. This is a mega fight in more ways than one. This sets the hierarchy and then shifts the landscape for where everybody else follows suit afterwards. Now you got people at 147. They got to look over their shoulder at welterweight. Hey, he might be coming up here. Shakur or Teo, they might come up here if they win. They might come after my belts if they win. 135, they might have to move up if they want to get the cash cows that are going to be Teo or Shakur, depending on the winner. Shoot, depending on the fight as a whole, both of them could bolster their own cachets to where they're both mega stars, even bigger than they were before. as household names. Because as we know, Hagler Hearns, Hearns Leonard, Hearns Durant, Leonard Durant. All of these subsequent names, when they fought against each other, they both, because the fights were always so good, they kept on elevating each other to where nobody got left behind, and they all still stayed as cash cows that everybody wanted to go and try to take a piece off of when they moved up or down. This is the reality of this type of fight. This fits that type of mold. This is that type of mold. That it's that type of moving wave of change and stardom that can rest upon this division and beyond for both Shakur and Teofimo Lopez. There is not just a win that's at stake. There's not just a means of bragging rights, a championship. Those aren't the only things that are on the line. You gotta know this. You gotta understand this so you can truly understand what moves come afterwards, why they happen. Why all of a sudden you see Tank being more inclined to fight at 140. Why all of a sudden you see the likes of Lamont Roach and others moving more deliberately to gain these championship opportunities? Why people at 147 start bringing up, hey, I'll fight Teo. I'll move back down for Shakur. In fact, I'll give him the first shot at the title if either of them moves up, because they did the same thing with Terrence Crawford, Virgil Ortiz. Hey, if he comes back down if he comes down, I'll go up to 160. I'll fight at a catch weight. I'll get it on with Terrence Crawford. Charlo coming back at 160 and 168. Hey, I'll come through. I'll move and I'll work. I'll fight Bud. I'll make it happen. Everybody at one point in time when they were trying to fight Canelo, I'll do it. Let's go. I'll make accommodations. I will change my landscape to fit their prerogative so I can get that type of opportunity. That is the stakes. And whether Shakur needs more work is going to be seen from the pound for pound perspective of if he can, when he because he's in that conversation, if not there already for some people. So if he gets there, cool, fine. No skin off of my back. With him getting there, however, now the work will come to him rather than him having to come and get the work. It'll be a different street if he wins. It'll be a different road to stardom if he wins. His own career will start to morph differently if he goes about winning, because all of a sudden he will be a man that is controlling this sport. He already says that he deserves to be the face of boxing. He's not there. Be clear. I don't care how much you love him. I don't care how much you want to see him succeed. I don't care how much you think he deserves that type of title. I'm telling you right now, he's not there. I'm telling you right now, he does not belong in that conversation. But with a winning over Teo, that conversation will start to open up for him, because then the wins that would get him to that mountaintop will become more accessible to him, because now your name is worth the risk. Your name's worth the risk at a manner that everybody will be willing to change into. And then as you win more with those accommodations, now it becomes even more easier to make fights, because now you are eking closer to that moniker of I run the sport, or I got a piece of the pie that everybody wants a slice of. And I'm going to keep adding to it, because you will be willing to put your piece of the pie up for grabs when I want to fight you. There is a domino effect, a real one, that every time we see it go through, it will shift and change and develop. Or excuse me, every time that we see it roll down the mountaintop, it compounds on the snow of success. It picks up stuff along the way. It becomes more unstoppable. It becomes more unavoidable. That's where Teo and Shakur both are at, which is something that's why I'm more excited for this fight than ever, because I know the ramifications that this can bring and that this can alter for this division and beyond from the realities of boxing that we're seeing now. That's why I want to see it. Oh gosh, that's why I want to see it. Because it's a change. And it's going to be a sign of the new era that we all been saying has been coming down the mountain, has been eking into the hearts and minds of this sport. There's a change of foot. There's a movement shifting that is going to redistribute the balance of power in the boxing world. Many of these names that we got in the pound for pound right now were not in pound for pound before. They weren't. Understand it. Benavidez, there was a point in time, Benavidez, as much as he was moving through, wasn't sniffing the pound for pound. Ben Rodriguez was getting lost in the shuffle. Devin Haney had gotten bounced out. Usyk reigned at the top, absolutely. Bivol and Beterbiev, they were always there, but they weren't at this much of a volatile potential. They can get bounced down level. And two, the competition surrounding them, with Benavidez is now heated up to where all of a sudden, hey, both of y'all could get knocked off. And we got others coming through like Ben Whitaker and like Heavyweight, who if he keeps on improving, hey, that's a contender. The challenges have become more enticing. There's a whole landscape. Canelo was top 5 to 6 for almost a decade. What at one point in time was considered arguably number 1 in the world when he became undisputed at super middleweight. I don't even think it was arguable. He was the best fighter in the world when he became undisputed at super middleweight initially. And now he's about to be leaving the top 10. Anthony Joshua was top 10 at one point in time. He got bounced out. Fury was top 10 at one point in time. Top 3 at one point in time. Or at least top 5. He got bounced out. Everybody's getting moved. Crazy enough. And this new era is starting to take root and take hold, which I'm telling you, changes the foot. Changes the foot. And it's going to be exciting to see. Oh, nonetheless, we still want to hear your thoughts and opinions on the entirety of this show. Like I said, last 30 minutes to an hour, because we covered so much stuff on Tuesday, we kind of are in a complete reset to start out the new year for topic discussion. As news comes about, we're still going to be talking and seeing more stuff unfold. We're going to save some stuff for Friday. We are actually going to save some stuff for Friday, not empty the clip like we did on Tuesday. Though it was worth the wait. But we still want to hear from you. It's still the championship rounds. We want your thoughts and opinions in regards to the whole of this show going forward. I want to hear from you all in regards to everything involving the world of boxing and beyond, whether it's movies, sports, television, video games, you name it. We want to see you be a part of it and be about it in the world of sports, debates, conversations. Want to hear your opinions. Want to hear your takes on the NFL, on the NBA. Do you think that the Lakers are actually falling apart now from their hot start when they were seemingly, what was it, 12-4 at one point in time? Some disconnect with LeBron and Luka Doncic from playing together in the rotations as a whole. You got the likes of Milwaukee trying to still make another run from an abysmal start with Giannis Antetokounmpo coming back from injury. San Antonio at 24-9 is looking at one of the best teams in the Western Conference as a whole in the NBA. And Victor Wembanyama is playing limited minutes, mind you, doing this type of insane level work. And this with De'Aaron Fox, with Vassell, this whole squad is looking like a real monstrous team. Forget young stars. This is looking like a team that not just can give OKC a run for their money. You put them against anybody in the Eastern Conference right now, I dare say you'd be hard-pressed to say they couldn't win. You'd be hard-pressed to say they couldn't have a good shot at legit winning a championship if they come out the Western Conference, facing off against anybody in the East. That's how potent they're looking. It's an insane degree of quality that they're playing, led by a culture-shifting superstar in the election Victor Wembanyama in what is third year in the league. My gosh, it's ridiculous. And that's why I'm glad I'm a Spurs fan. Because, hey, I'm living large right now. No question about it. Absolutely. But let me keep on reading what you all got to say. There's a card on, let me see. Hold on. There's a card this week. Amanda Serrano is fighting again on January 3rd, going up against the likes of Rian Tellez in a 10-round affair for the Unified Championships, WBO and WBA. There's actually, Xander Zayas is fighting on the 31st. Also this month, TEOFIMO fighting on the 31st of this month. And Ryan Garcia Barrios is fighting in February. It's a, when I tell you it's just action afoot. And shoot, Holly Holmes. Crazy enough, Holly Holmes is fighting for a title. I didn't think she was going to be fighting anymore. She fighting for a title in boxing, going back to her roots of boxing for the lightweight division. Now, is she going to be able to win? I don't know. But what I do know is if she does make that actually come about and be successful, boy, I'll be shocked. I will be shocked. But if it happens, great. For now, and we'll see how it goes from there. Also, don't forget January 16th in lieu of Benavidez versus Zerto already signed and scheduled to happen. Zerto's got another fight coming up in January on the 16th, going against Robin Serwin Safar. Or put it easier, Robin Safar. He beats against him, then again, even more concretely confirmed, all roads lead to a clash against each other later on in the year, most likely in May, in the summer. Oh, no, I'm sorry, May, what was it, May 2nd? Was it May 2nd that it was going to be? I think it was May 2nd it was going to be. That was the schedule date. But regardless of which, Cinco de Mayo weekend, it's going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to see it. Nonetheless, let me see, imagine Inoue versus Espinosa on Mexican Independence Day. I would love to see it. Like I said, he's got to get through Nakatani. Then afterwards, will the move up be delayed? Or will the move up to 126 be delayed for Bam to come up to 122? Or will it be, we'll just keep on pressing. After that, we relinquish it and we moving up. And we're going to 126. Whatever the case may be, it's going to be exciting to recognize and watch all throughout September. In September in the USA, that would be fun to see. Adam Azim versus Gustavo Lemos. That is a fight. It's going, again, like you said, Lemos, same buddy who gave Hitchens a whole bunch of trouble, who came in at 168 against Keyshawn Davis. Adam Azim, I think he should be able to win. No problem. But even still, Lemos is not it can get sketchy. It can get sketchy. It can get sketchy in that fight if Adam Azim is not careful at all. And you're right, January is indeed incredibly stacked with talent and with absolute insane bangers throughout the entirety of the month, ending off the year in multiple great fights that we can't wait to see nonetheless. Also, let me see, as we can finally end off this poll real quick, as we were still asking about Ryan Garcia and his ability to become a champion this year, if it's possible, if he beats the likes of Barrios, which it is not the confidence I want to have, I'm not having as much. They can be Barrios. But we're going, as we keep on going through, as the fight gets closer, we will be addressing it more often, absolutely. But with him, we got 43% of you all saying no, that he will not be a champion. And we got 57 people saying yes, he will be a champ at this year, going up against Barrios to beat him. So we got slightly favored that we got more people saying that Ryan Garcia will beat Barrios than that he will lose to Barrios come February of this year. Great. Cool. I'm so happy there's some confidence there. But the confidence, and we're going to delve into it more as the fight gets closer, there's a reason why it's shaky. Because, not to sound like a broken record, but this is the truth. Unless Ryan Garcia reaches that potential of insane capabilities that we know physically he has at his disposal, whether that means he's got to find the right coach, whether that means he's got to find, dare I say, the right division, whether that means he's got to find the right discipline in himself to be able to commit fully to make himself the best he can in the sport. Whatever it is the cause. If he does not find it quick, he will be a lackluster shadow of what his own ceiling could have been. Lord knows I don't want that for him at all. I don't want that for him at all. Barrios might beat him. Barrios has better fundamentals. I think he does, and better boxing ability. He is, for what he is as a fighter, he understands himself better and uses his skills better. And dare I say, you can argue with the experience he's garnered, he's at least become two-faceted in what he can do if he needs to fight or box. Ryan Garcia, as we know from the last fight, even though he was indeed injured, I get it, against the likes of what's his name? Of Rolling Merrill. Still leaves something to be desired of where a plan B, can you formulate it on the fly when everything is working against you? Can you do that? And the answer might not be a yes. And at this stage in his career, no longer is that just excusable of he'll learn. He's got to get it done now. He's got to get it done now, because if not, it can get really bad really quick. If the Barrios takes that left hook away, Barrios will pick on apart. That's the biggest issue. If the left hook goes awry, what else can Ryan do? If Ryan Garcia's left hook goes awry and it doesn't become useful, what else can Ryan Garcia do? And the answer might be nothing, especially when matched against the length and jabbing ability and the reach of Mario Barrios. I'm not saying Barrios has a phenomenal use of the jab, but it's good enough that he can do what Rolling Merrill did and better. Yes, it can. Yes, it can. So be on the lookout for that and be skeptical. And we're going to address this more and more as time continues to come on and that fight gets closer and closer. But we are getting ready to end this show off because, like I said, we don't want to drone on, and we want to make sure that we also give you all time to enjoy your New Year's Day. No question about it. We're going to be back on Friday covering the world of boxing and beyond in the full-blown championship rounds where you all get to control the entirety of the show. For however long we go on from start to finish, we're going to pack it up and send it home and end this first show of the year off with a bang. No question about it. So happy New Year. Appreciate you all tuning into the show. And with all of that being said, this has been another phenomenal episode of The Welch with me, your host, Jean-Luc Welch. Thank you all for tuning in and listening and for supporting this channel all throughout last year. We guarantee that this year is going to be bigger, better, stronger, and even more exciting with all of you at the helm making it possible. No question about it. We got Cash App and PayPal links down below if you would like to support the channel. It means the world to us, helps me pay the bills, and helps us to put this show on display for more people and to have us be able to invest into this show to make it bigger and better for you all to witness and enjoy. Thank you to Matt Borges and everybody else who came through and supported and donated to the stream. And thank you to everybody who chatted on stream. All of you participants were incredible. All of you all were phenomenal. All of you all helped make the show oh so special. And we just getting started. Literally, we're just getting started on the first show of the year. We gonna be like this all year long with fervor, fire, energy, hype, pomp, circumstance, and everything in between to make you entertained, to make you beloved, to make you feel the love, and to make you want to come back every single week to see what we got to say on this show. But we thank you all for tuning in. We thank you all for listening. It has been a phenomenal start to the year, and it's only going to get better from here. We'll leave a like on the video, comment your thoughts and opinions, subscribe on what you like and didn't like about the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Be sure to share the show with everybody that you know so we can keep on building up this empire together. Also, be sure to hit the notification bell so you know whenever we post right here on YouTube and on every podcasting platform imaginable. Also, rate us 5 stars wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, you name it, we're there. And if we're not, tell us, we'll get there. Absolutely, no question about it. And please, be sure to be safe, be blessed. I've been Jean-Luc Welch. Y'all have been wonderful. We're going to be back here tomorrow. Peace and love. We are out here. Yes, sir. We're going to see you all on Friday. Be safe, be blessed. Join us back. Tell other people about the show. Happy New Year to everybody. And we're going to see y'all later. Peace and love. Be safe, be blessed. We out.